investigations were continuing into the death of a man at Northdale Hospital. 2 senior managers there have now been suspended. The investigations are underway into a makeshift structure used for triage in the hospital parking lot. It follows the death of 67-year-old Sbusiso Khumalo, who was admitted to the hospital last weekend. Our reporter in KZN, Karinda Jagmohan, has more on those details. Karinda, good evening. Firstly, if you can give us a sense then of what the local authorities in KZN have said and how they have responded to this incident, especially from the MEC's office and the Premier's office.
Yes, good evening to you, Kathy. Well, so far we understand that as investigations are underway, the medical manager and the nursing manager of the hospital have been suspended with immediate effect. At the same time, the acting CEO of this hospital has been redeployed to her previous position. Now, so far, the Department of Health has roped in a team of specialists from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. They're going to be investigating how this makeshift structure was approved then, and also the KZN Premier has now called for an urgent investigation into the death of 67-year-old Sbusiso Khumalo. Over this weekend, his daughter, radio personality Shlengiwe, had put up a video showing this makeshift structure. It's an open-air structure where patients who are awaiting their COVID-19 results are being housed. Now, those patients are experiencing severe symptoms, Kathy, and you must understand Pietermaritzburg is a cold city. Sbusiso had complained about feeling cold. His daughter had went to fetch a blanket for him, and when she had returned, he had passed away. And now this is when the structure was placed under the spotlight. I also want to tell you that the South African Human Rights Commission is also keeping watch over this investigation. They say they're concerned in which the structure was built up, a very poorly constructed shelter used, of course, then to house patients. And they say that it is without dignity. So they're keeping a close watch on this as well. At the same time, community activists have welcomed the suspension of the medical manager and nursing manager. For far too long, there's been issues at this hospital. There's a lack of food for patients, a lack of blankets for patients. So now they're looking into an investigation into the hospital as a whole.
So no question then that there have been numerous complaints following that of Mr. Khumalo that have been brought forward.
Yes, also we did speak to Pietermaritzburg community activist today, in particular a local leader, and what he says is that this is just the highlight of complaints that have come out, and we have seen, or rather we spoke to Nehau in KZN, and they say that staff of the hospital under their banner even used some of their lunch hours to picket outside the hospital. They say over a lack of equipment, a lack of PPE as well. So there have been various issues ongoing at this hospital. We understand that for the past 2 weeks, the acting CEO has been on sick leave, and it seems that because of this, there was really no communication between employees who were meant to put up the structure, which is the flu clinic meant, like you said, to set up for triage, but there was no communication between them and management, and this is what the health MEC has basically said in her statement that she sent out, and she says this is now a cause for concern, and the immediate suspension of the top senior officials should now act as basically evidence, or rather should show other managers across KZN's over 70 hospitals that they need to pay due diligence, they need to be alert as to how they are treating patients. What she ultimately says is patients cannot be treated in this way. At the same time, though, now we expect KZN's investigative report to be tabled by Friday, with recommendations as well. And these recommendations, Kathy, should ultimately state as well how flu clinics should be set up, what should be the conditions they should have. Now, right now, we understand that another temporary structure, what looks like a white, more solid tent, has been set up to house patients in the flu clinic, and this will be underway until the Department of Health fast tracks what they say will be a more solid structure with proper heating for these patients.
All right.